Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to our meeting today. And we started a new little format where we're going to talk about different things and do a little training here and there. Last week we did a great job of going over AI, Chat GPT. We talked a little bit about Gemini, which is on Google. And you know what is interesting with all of that, for those Apple phone lovers, you have Siri and Alexa. They have been doing this for a minute. We only really would ask them basic questions, or we would say to Alexa, turn up my TV 2 volumes and different things like that. But this has been going on for quite a while with AI just gathering all the information that people have been asking it and just storing it as data to be able to answer all the questions. So we had a great conversation last Thursday of all the great things that you can do to enhance your business, work your business, share your business, put marketing together by using these tools that's up and running. So hopefully we had a chance to kind of play around with it this past week, put some flyers together, put different things together that will allow people to see our business more. I played around with it a little bit and asked it different questions. Of course, you don't want to ever put in there any of your personal information like your bank account and how much money you have in your bank, anything like that, personal information, passwords, none of that. But just general information, you can always ask them. It's AI, and it is really spectacular how they come back and give you the different answers. I was watching this one talk show where this lady shared that she asked about marital advice for counseling, so for something that her husband did that she didn't like. And AI came back and told her what to do and how to be nice and what to say. And so I thought that was funny. It made me laugh because people are using it for everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So, there's always going to be some bad actors out there doing things that they have no business doing, but you really can't stop a lot of folks from doing craziness. But when you're looking at the good part about it, it's really some good stuff on there. So hopefully everyone had a chance to kind of go and play around with it. And it's free unless you wanted to actually start an account. I'm using the free version because I can click on the mic and just talk if I want to, and it'll ask me a question and I can hear it through my laptop. So it's just really interesting once you start playing with that. So that's what we went over last week. And so this week, we're going to just go over the back office. And of course, this is a conversation and it's back and forth 2 ways. So if you have any questions or any thoughts about what we talked about last week, we definitely want you to share that and ask the questions or share your information, because you'd be surprised someone was thinking about the same thing and wondering. So always feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question or share your knowledge, because we have a lot of knowledge that we don't even realize we have until you start talking to people and sharing. And once you start sharing, it's like, wow, did I say that? Yes, you did, because you know exactly what you're talking about and how it works. You figure nobody knows your name better than you. We all have unique fingerprints. And so you are a unique individual and you have skills that no one else has but you. And so we love for everyone to always share what they do and how they have put things together with our Surge 365 business. So what I'm going to do quick, Rick had me, and Rick, jump in if you wanted me to go in another direction, but he had me to listen to Neville Goddard, and we listen to these motivational speaking all the time. I mean, sometimes our TV will just be playing and playing them as we're walking around because they're all on YouTube. And so that's just the power of the internet too. Anything you want to learn, you can learn. And I'm going to share this with you real fast. So I decided the other day, because it popped up on my Instagram, chai key walking, right? And I said, oh, Chai, I want to learn that. That sounds like it would be fun. It'd be fun. It's slow, you know, it's not real. Man, that is it's not hard, but it's not as easy as it looks because for the few classes that I have taken so far that I have found on YouTube, the key is the whole meditation part of it. And just for grins to share with you guys, the gentleman said, walk like you're walking on a sheet of ice and you don't want to break it. So when you put your feet down, you have to put your feet down very gently and then shift your weight to the other. That is definitely, so I'm trying to master that part right now. Being able to put my feet down gently and then move my weight to the other feet or foot as I put it down. So it's really interesting. I haven't even gotten to the hand movements yet. But like I said, it's only been a couple days. And so when you find that there is things that you want to learn, do not hesitate. Do not say, oh, well, I guess it's too late. Go on YouTube, look it up. It's there. So I think this is going to be fun for me because I can do it alone, of course, and whenever I want. And it's like do it every 10 minutes a day. And I'm trying to just master putting my feet down like I'm putting it on a sheet of ice. And I don't want the weight of it to break the sheet. It's really good. So just wanted to share that little nitbit because learning something new to me is exciting. It's always exciting. And so now, you know how those cookies are, the algorithm, everything's popping up about chai tea. Everything is popping up about it. And I see this, I see that, and I stop and I do this. And so it's really interesting. So definitely always try to learn something new. And so we were listening to this motivational speaker talk about how you have to see yourself already there. And it was so good. And we already know this. We've already talked about The Secret. If you guys haven't read the book or heard the video, it's really powerful. It was very popular a few years back. I know one gal in our team, Laura Cross, that was back in the day. I'm quite sure some of you will remember when you could copy a CD. And so she was copying movies and she would bring it into the training and handing out secrets and she had so many movies that she could copy. And I was like, okay, I want a copy of this movie, this movie. So that was fun. But we were able to watch The Secret over and over. And The Secret's a really good, it's a good video. And it talks about how you manifest what you want. So let's just throw something out there, the $1,000 bonus, so you can be a part of the pool. And of course, Rick posted who received the pool for the month of October. And I think they said they received $3,000 a piece plus the $1,000 that they received for their bonus. So that's going to continue to increase and increase and increase. So you want that $1,000 bonus. We all do. We want it to come at least once a week. You know, if we can get that $1,000 once a week, and then you add up that bonus, and let's just leave it right there at $3,000, and then you have your 4 weeks, and you add that together, and you're looking at $7,000 a month just from bonusing. So you could imagine how much money it's out there to receive these different bonuses that the company offers. So let's play around now. $7,000 a month. You've already received that. You get it on a weekly basis. The checks keep coming in the mail. How does that feel? This is what he was teaching us, to go to past receiving it. You don't have to build a bridge of expectations and how you're going to get it and what you're going to do to get it. Let's just go past all of that and go to the feeling of how it is once you receive it. So you're getting that $7,000 a month. What are you doing with it? How does it feel to know you have that? What are you doing with your money when it comes? Because it's here now and you're getting it. So it was a real good, it was 21 minutes. I always put mine on a faster volume audio so I can listen to it faster. So I probably listen to it in 15 because I always turn the speed up so I can listen to things faster. But you want to be able to go there and be able to see. So these are the pools. So you want to also see your picture there where you're the one receiving the $1,000 bonus, getting the pool check. So this is August, September, and I'm quite sure they're going to put up October once the month is over because the month is not over. So there's so many things left or things that you can just see yourself receiving, see it happening. What are you going to do? What picture you're going to put up there? And that's fun to me. Just thinking about how you're going to do this, how you're going to feel once it's done. And he used an example of someone wanting a raise or promotion. And so he would always go back and forth on how he's going to go talk to his boss, when, and what he's going to talk about. And he said, let's change that. Let's think about how is it going to be 3 months in, you already have your promotion, you're sitting in your new office, you've already received one paycheck. How does that feel? What does it look like? So the same thing with the bonus. And of course, life will, hit us in the face like it does. And you'll see your back office and it's like, how this? Yes, leave that alone. Turn back around. Think about how are you feeling because you hit it. See, people are out there watching us on a constant basis. People we haven't talked to in a long time, they see what you're doing with your Surge 365 business, the way you're advertising, the way you're showing your vacation shots. And if you don't have any, put somebody else's up there because folks are watching. And I remember that's something that they would share with us doing training. If you don't have a story, use someone else's story until you get a story. And with our business, even for the new people, I know it might not have already been a year, but you will receive your one vacation stay, your 7-day vacation stay. You can create a story with that. You can also create a story by going on OneSource and getting your free cruise for a princess. There's so many different ways you can start your own story and using someone else's story until yours get there. And what I mean by that is if you see somebody and they have a really great picture on the cruise, like it, share it, and then say, this could be us. Are you ready to go? There's so many things that pop up on social media. And then kind of going back to AI again, ask AI and it'll tell you what you can say, what pictures you can show. I received a phone call the other day from Agents from Home magazine. And a lot of us, we did receive that. And now it's gone to where it is paperback and now it's electronic, where they can send you an email of the magazine. But I said, no, I want to continue to get it paperback because I like to see it. I like to cut out pictures. I like to put it on my vision board. So whatever you still like to do, you can still do it. Or you can just download it on your phone. It can flip through like a video and you're looking at different things, different places you want to go. And I was asking Rick the other day, I forget the name of the hotel, but there's a hotel downtown New York and it hasn't been open very long. And I said, oh, I want to stay at that hotel. How much is that hotel on our website? And so Rick said $4,000. I went, a night. He said, no, that was just I think he did 4 or 5 days. I was like, what? So then he went back and he did 1 day. The regular price, or I would say the commercial price or the non-membership price for this hotel, downtown New York, was $1,900 a day for this hotel. And I thought, oh, that'd be fun to stay in that hotel. Can you imagine the treatment that you would get? The spa that they have in that hotel, the food, the chefs, all the different things, down to the linen, how nice that hotel would be. And what's so nice about it is on our membership price, it was just $1,400 a night. And so there you're saving close to $500 just by being in Surge 365. So that's a savings right there from your investment. So it really depends on how you see these things. And I'm thinking, oh man, it'd be nice to just take the train up for fun or fly, just doing something different, landing in Penn Station, New York City, which is totally chaos, and taking the train or grabbing a cab or ordering a limo and going to this hotel and just going from there. See, those are the kind of dreams that I like to do. And that's what you want to do when you start thinking about what are you going to do now when those bonuses start hitting. Because we can always sit back and look at what we don't have. What we want to do is start thinking about what we have. How is it going to feel now that you have hit those bonuses? Chantel and Glenn, they could tell you how do you feel when you hit that bonus and then that you receive that check from the pool. So
How did it feel, Chantel and Glenn?
Chantel and Glenn.
We are still sitting in that feeling. It is
Nice.
amazing, Delby Santiago. I'm telling you, it's like I'll let Glenn explain some of that, but I'm still sitting in that and absorbing it, and it's sitting in the bank big time. Yes, yes. So we're looking at we have you can deposit that check, but you can keep the check. So we have that check, and the eyeballs. I'm like, wow. But I'm doing what you're talking about, looking at what's already ahead, all the months, all the years, and like the levels of it, because that's what they just received. If that's any inkling of what's coming ahead, wow, wow, wow. But we're gonna celebrate it and keep celebrating it.
Yes. Glenn, you want to share a little bit?
It's to get a check with a comma in it, period, is fantastic, fantastic feeling. And it just gives you a taste of what's to come with financial freedom. And that's what this power line, with the vision of it, can make that a realization. Most people are not financially free. They have to do something to have an income. But it's a motivator. It really is, especially with this power line, and it's just getting bigger each time. We were on the winners win. Well, actually, it was the power team. What's the Saturday call that Dr. Chris does? And the winners win. He puts that in the winners win the following week. So I believe it should be coming up this following Tuesday morning. Chantel has that down. But he described just what you just did, Brenda, that the way he travels and him as the CEO, and it's a whole different thought pattern process. He doesn't do anything small. He's first class all the way. And then he put dollar signs on it. They say, oh, you got this free trip down here. He said, no, it's not free. When I got there, I always upgrade because I got to have a presidential suite. And he just started laying on these layers of cost and just the lifestyle that he has. He's painting the picture for you. But you want that feeling. We want to help everybody we can get that feeling. That's what's great about this compensation plan too, because you're helping yourself while you're helping others. It's all incentives. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that's true. And when you start doing that, I was listening when you go first class on the airplane. This is talking about what you expect and what you want. Of course, there's a free drink with first class. There's also, depending on how far you're going, you can get a warm towel to kind of wash your hands a little bit. If you're going far, you have a sleeper little compartment there with a full meal with actual glass um, plates and cups, not paper plates. It's just a certain class. You can bring your luggage without having to weigh them. First class does not require you to be limited to 45, 50 pounds. They don't weigh your luggage in first class. So there are things that once you're exposed to it, it's like, man, this is it for me from now on. And that's how these pools are. Once you start, I mean, if you look at pool number 3, Aaron and Diana and Charles Nicholson, because of their position, they received along with their, well, it's really like $1,100, something like that you're going to get. That's $3,000 they got along with that. So that's $4,000 they got in 1 month. And we can go back and reminisce, but I like to look forward because we can go back and reminisce to all the bonuses. And if you look at Aaron, not only did he bonus in August, he bonused in September. And so he's on a roll with whatever he's doing. He's definitely on a roll. And so did, is that Yvette who did it twice? No, that's Carmen. But these people are making it happen. And you know what's so great about the company? Even if you have been sitting at 5 people for however many years, and you go and you get 2 more, and you hit that 7 and you bonus, you're going to bonus. There's no time limit on when you brought these people in. You're going to still bonus. And that's what's so great about our company. There is no limitation. And Chris is correct. Every time we go somewhere, he is in the presidential suite. And Rick and I, we do upgrade too. We don't push it to the presidential suite, but we do upgrade to where we're right there wherever he is. If he's at a certain pool, we're at that same pool because we upgraded. So we got a special key so we can go into this pool. Everything is top shelf. You can go into certain restaurants that other people cannot go in. And when you start doing those type of things, there's a feeling that, I mean, when we did this last trip, I don't remember, it wasn't March this year, or it might have been November last year. And we went to Cancun and we came in late and we upgraded so we would be able to go into this one area, an executive lounge, where they always have food 24 hours. There's food in there. And there's Chris sitting there, relaxing. It's all quiet. Nobody is in there with him. And he's just relaxing. I'm thinking, okay, see this. So when he tells you, Glenn, and when he shares things like that, he is not kidding. He definitely does. And even when we were leaving, he had a huge, big black SUV, whatever it was, just for him and Renee. That probably sat 8 people, but it was just the 2 of them going to the airport. You know, so when you get used to that and when you can start dreaming of how that's going to feel, there's nothing like it. And even when life tries to turn you around to let you see what it tells you is reality, ignore it, turn back around, look at how beautiful things are, look at how it feels now that you have achieved it. Don't worry about the process. Do what you know to do. Just feel how it's going to feel, how nice it's going to be to constantly bonus. And I know this because we did at one point constantly bonus. And that's what we're getting ready to do, is just constantly bonus. Our picture was always everywhere. Every time we had a meeting, convention, we managed to receive something, you know. And so you can do that. This business, and just imagine, I don't know if you know anyone who has gotten laid off, but I don't. I wish I did. I don't, because I would definitely be wanting that. Listen, I know things are hard right now, but you need to take a look at Surge 365. Open mind, see how this can work for you. Not to mention all the other people in your job. Travel is not going anywhere, and it is going to continue to soar. People are going to constantly travel. It is not going to stop. If anything, it's going to get better. That's one thing. And I know everybody has their little scare things that going on. Oh, I don't know. They don't have enough people. They're not blah, 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 blah. Forget that. When I travel, it's great. I get there. There's no delays from point A to point B. That's how I think about it. That's how it always is. And it's about how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're believing. And so that's it. It works every time we go wherever we're going to go. We go and we get back. And we were also talking earlier, when you start thinking about how things was supposed to be before we moved down to Charleston, and we would come visit my father in the summertime. One time we took a flight out of Peterson Air Force Base, ended up in Maryland. We was on a private jet with, I guess, some general and some guys. There wasn't very many of them. And we sat in the back and we could look straight forward to look right into the cabin. It was so nice being on this little private plane. And when you think about, people travel like that all the time, just they get in different pools with different jets, and 4 or 5 people own it. And when they want to go, they put in their time as where they want to go, when they want to go, and they have their private pilot on call. See, there's no limit to your imagination unless you limit it. So dream big. Don't hesitate. Don't delay. You can have it all. It's all of what you want. And if you say, well, Brenda, that's quite a bit. If I can just get my bills paid, and that's fine. Nobody can stop you from dreaming the way you want to dream. It's really up to you. And it starts with the mind. It starts with how you think about things and how you see things. So don't dwell on, oh, how am I going to do this? I don't know enough people. I don't know. No, stop that. Start thinking, yep, people just come in from everywhere. I bonus without even trying. But you have to continue to do it. See, that's another thing. I don't know how many of you read Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's a good book. And even James Clear talks about you break a habit with another habit. So you start off small and you continue until you create a habit. So that's the same thing with how you think mentally. You're not going to break it, because however old you are, that's how long you've been thinking that way. So it might take some time. Everybody's individual and everybody thinks differently. But what you want to do is you want to start the process of believing, of feeling, of seeing what you want and how it's going to be. And I think once we get to that point, and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen right away, because everybody's different, but you know what you're thinking about and how you're thinking about it. And once you start going in that direction, so there's so many different positive speakers out there talking about the mindset. And this is a subject that I love, and I could talk about it over and over and over again, because there's so much to learn out there. There's so much that we don't know how to do. So I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to be where do I want to be? Tokyo? Do I want to be in China? Where do I want to be? Somewhere on a beach and be like, oh, I know how to do that. And before you know it, I'm joined in a whole group and we're all doing it and we're having a great time. So you have to just decide when you're going to start thinking about this process, but don't delay and don't worry about how you're going to get there. just go right to you have it. Just go right to you're spending it. Go right to how it's going to feel when you start getting on the stage because you have received 4 to 5 bonus checks. You've been in 3, 4, 5 pools because now you're on this level, because all the levels depend on where you fall with your position. So where you want to be so you can qualify to receive the different pools that and each month the money just keeps getting higher and higher because more and more people are coming into the business. More and more people are seeing that there's no compensation out there like ours. And so the money that can be made. So if you know anyone, it doesn't hurt. And like I said last week, that's why we do the two-way calling and working with your upline and letting people talk. And if you don't want to sponsor them for whatever reason you might have, but they want to come in the business, let them talk to someone else. We have which is a real great way to do it. You can bring somebody on and you can place them under someone else. And so it's not like you're working the business, but you're reaping the benefits. So there's so many different ways in Surge 365 that you can do things to achieve your goals. You just have to decide that you're going to do it and that you're going to continue to think in that way. So Rick, what was the next step?
Well, I think that's awesome what you were just sharing. I'd like to welcome Roz to the call. Roz just came on board this
Hello,
little
Ron.
while. Hello, Roz. And she's really awesome. But what you're talking about, Brenda, is just so powerful. You reminded me of the taking that Learjet, the military Learjet, from Peterson to Baltimore, and how we actually saw ourselves going. Well, I saw us going and taking the military flight, and it's so funny how we do things. But we said, okay, let's go ahead and get packed, and let's just go to the passenger terminal since we saw ourselves going and getting on the flight. Let's just go and see if we can get on this flight. And so we packed up, went to the passenger terminal, Colorado Springs, Peterson Air Force Base, and your brother dropped us off. He dropped us off at the airport before it opened. And so we get in line, and there's some active duty folks who had to get back to Baltimore for active duty assignment, and they take priority. So Brenda and I are traveling what we call Space A in the military. There's a seat open. You can possibly get it, but it depends on when you come in and who's on the manifest and all kinds of different factors. But I said, okay, let's go. Let's get dropped off, pack up, and believe we're going to get on this flight. So we get in line, and I don't know, but it's like 3 active duty military in front of us and a couple other people in front of us in line by the time we get to the airport passenger terminal. And so when they open up, we go in. I'm like, man, how is God going to do this? We're not even first in line. They've got some active duty folks. It's a Learjet, so there aren't that many seats. Long story short, this happened, that happened, all kind of things happen. And we find ourselves 2 seats on this jet, just like the picture in the mind before we left. And it just reminded me that what do you see? What can you see? How do you feel? We're talking about living in the end of what you see and then taking inspired actions to make it happen. because it's already happened. You're just kind of getting in alignment with what has already happened. You've already bonused. You've already gone on that trip. You've already done this. You've already hit your position. It's already done. You are just aligning in faith believing, in faith feeling. You know, everything is waiting on us. It's already done. And there are no limitations, as Brenda was saying. And now, what is the inspired action? So when we're looking at, and let's do this for the power line. Let's do this for the power line. The power line in our company, and Glenn and Chantel have experienced because they were part of the first power line. So back in August, in addition to an incredible, amazing, lucrative Surge 365 compensation plan, they add the power line, which is above and beyond, right? Getting paid. So what who does this, right? What Surge has done is on a monthly basis, they look at the total members in our company from the beginning to the last person that joined. And on a monthly basis, they said, let's take $20 from their membership and let's put it in a collective pool of money. And then let's divide the total up across of the number of people, $20, across 10 pools, right? Evenly. Boom, boom, boom. Pool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the qualifications to get the money from the pool, a person has to be in their team builder, which if you've got the 5 people, like we were talking about, 5 people brings you to your team builder. We have people that may not be in their team builder yet. 5 people, new people that come on board for the travel technology package, puts you in your team builder. So no matter how long you've been in the company, 5 people put you in your team builder, you earn a $500 leadership bonus. So think about it. No matter how long you've been in the company, 5 people come on board, you earn $500, get your money back, even if you've been in the company however many years. So now you get your money back, $500. You're 3 and free. So you're not paying the $99 monthly fee. Now your monthly overhead for this amazing business is $20, right? The junior exec mark 1995. And so, but you're lining up for the power line. So you're a team builder. You've been in the company where you have 100 people, and you could track this in your back office, 100 people who have joined the business since you came on board. And you can see the number in the back office. I believe, Roz, you're like 60 something since she joined already, right? Look, another month or whatever, another week, who knows? 100 people join, but they put everybody in a single line, timestamp based on when you join. So when 100 people have come on board since when you join, you qualify to receive the power line bonus. Now, the other thing is, so the team builder got to have a rank, 100 people under you that have joined since you joined, and then now you hit a $1,000 bonus. So once you get in your team builder and you increase by 7 people that come on board, you qualify for the $1,000 bonus. So you're actually going to make about $1,350, hitting that $1,000 bonus and all the commissions and it comes out to about $1,350. But now you qualify for that month's power line bonus. So if you're looking at the screen, you see August, and so you see Glenn and Chantel, they're national builders. So they qualify for pool number 3. But the cool thing about it, not only as a national builder do you qualify for pool number 3, but you also get pool number 2 and pool number 1. So you're emptying the bank, right? From pool number 2 and pool number 1, as well as pool number 3. Now, for the month of September, look at the numbers. just a month later, how the numbers have increased of the people coming in the business. That's why we're saying next year or even before, when we have 200,000 people, or we have 100,000 people in this business, and the pool is $200,000. You know, they're dividing up across the 10 pools, $200,000 in each pool, and you hit $1,000 bonus. You're a team builder, national builder, whatever it is. You have more than 100 people under you. Man, you're emptying out these pools above and beyond the compensation plan. And it's all about getting in position. And as Brenda started off this call, getting in position is not necessarily the process of what to do to build this business. Getting into position is a mindset, a spirit set that you already hit it. And so when I was listening to Neville Goddard, I'm just going to share this with you. It was just amazing because Neville Goddard is a motivational speaker who's passed. I mean, he was like in the 1920s or so, but the messages are still relevant. And I was listening to this one talk where he was, and I'm going to share it with you. I want you to think about it. But it basically was talking about turn within, look inside, turn within, and go to the end. What is the end state? And he was sharing how the outer world is the effect, but the inner world is the cause. He said the outer world reflects what is within, because the outer world has no creative power. The creative power comes from within. What do you see? What do you feel in the mode of creating what you want? He says most people are stuck in the getting, not in already having. When they get to the I already have it, I already see it, I already feel it, I already believe it. Like you heard Chantel, it's in the check. We got the check, right? It's in the bank, but we got the check so we can see it. Can you imagine hitting the $1,000 bonus, qualifying for the power line, the experience of having it, dwelling in the state, not the process. The process and dwelling in the process will tire you out. But if you dwell in the state of already having it, the process falls in place. The process, you don't even know because you're going to get inspired actions. Because now you're just affirming the truth of what already happened and you already believe it. Now the process falls in place by inspired action. Call this person, do this, post that, and people will respond. If you start dwelling in the process, it's going to be limited by what you think. Okay, I got to do this. I got to call this number. I got to do this. I do this. You're in a process that's not even yours. You can't even figure it out. People don't respond in process. They respond in inspiration. The how is not yours. The process is not yours. God works out the means. We call it the bridge of incident. God will put things in place. He will make things happen. And when you start dwelling in the end state, time is not even a factor. When you dwell in the end state, it collapses time. Living in the end is now, the eternal now. It collapsed time. It's not like I gotta wait 5 months. I gotta wait. I gotta do this. Oh yeah. I gotta. It's collapsed time and is in the eternal now. Time exists. In our outer consciousness. But when you start thinking about the end state, it's already happened. And now the things will happen to confirm what you already believe, what you already feel. I mean, it's amazing how things really work. People
It's
get stuck in
amazing.
the process, but it's beyond the process. Someone have something?
Yes. If you everything that we have received, it was not in the process. It was the belief that we how can I explain this where you can get it? I'm telling you, when we woke up this morning and I went in there and I was listening to Turn Within and go directly to the end, I'm like, are you kidding me? That is a feeling. That is, I'm sitting there, I'm doing a dance. I posted a post before I read this, Rick. And in the post, it said, throw the party now. See,
Wow.
because life is shifted and life is doing all this, and people are constantly, oh, this is gone, that's gone. Skip that. What dress are you wearing to my party?
Oh,
It's not
wow.
just my party, it's your party. What dress are you wearing? What suit are you wearing? What kind of bling are you on? Because see, this is I'm doing my party right here, right? What I sent my daughter a picture this morning. I said, that cupcake carousels, I want a lot of those. See, it's already done. Every level we have hit, not just in this business, but in our life. It was a
Mm-hmm.
desire we had. The traveling the world. I told my mother that when I was a little girl. I was
Wow.
10 years old. And I said, Mom, I told her this till I graduated from high school. I said, Mom, and she probably was like, this girl don't go somewhere. Mom, when I graduate from high school, I'm going to be traveling the world, Mom. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going all over the world. I told her this every year. And when I graduated and I was going to go to this college in Virginia, in Richmond, there was a seed planted in me as a child. And I said, Mom, I was about a month out from starting the class. I said, Mom, I want to go to the school in Texas. Did we have the means? Nope. Had no idea how I was going to get there. My mother put in the paperwork. I'm talking 30 days out from college starting. I'm
Wow.
going all the way to Texas. Never been on a plane in my life
Oh
by
my Lord.
myself. Got on the plane with a suitcase and a briefcase. And the girl thought she was going to be a nurse, another kind of nurse. But you know what? Shifted me into business management.
No.
Come on, somebody. I'm telling you, this is what we're living. You have to shift yourself. It's intentional. You can have the desires of your heart when you make that decision.
That's
And before that power line came, every time I see something out there, I said, you know what? I didn't know how we were going to get that. I said, I want that for us. How it came about,
mm,
we could tell you the process was like, had nothing to do with us.
wow.
Nothing. A woman shows up on a cruise. There's somebody in the room. And this lady ends up, boom, hitting us into the power line. Is anybody here?
Wow.
You can have the desires of your heart when you say, yes, I receive that. I want that. Put those pictures up there. Whatever you need to do for you, do it. Why can't you have the desires of your heart? It's a decision. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Wow. Anybody else?
Yes. Hey, Rick, I'm just gonna share a couple of nuggets from that winner's win call that I was talking about.
Okay.
Um,
Mm, mm, mm.
Dr. Coakley said, what you work on to be successful, what you need to work on. First of all, he said, never let anyone back you into a situation you don't want to be in. And I've learned to recognize those situations. People will try to draw you in to their agenda, basically.
Mm, mm,
You got
mm.
to remember that you're a CEO. As a CEO, your job is to recruit, train, and develop leaders. Anything else is not your job.
Mm, mm, mm.
If you've got we've got the host travel agency, and most travel agents, the median income is $50,000 more or less. So you got that going for you too.
Mm.
You got to remember you are on a stage 24/7. And then he goes into 7 things you need to succeed. So you can pick that up on the winner's win for those 7 steps. But
You want to
real
say
talk.
what are the 7 right quick?
Self-discipline, time management, prioritize your time, emotional control. There's a lot of that going on right now, especially if you work for the government. Effective communication, transparency. Let me see. And a diamond travel. Oh, we were on that call, the company call with the new. What's the name of that, Chantel? Travel leaders.
Travel leaders, yes.
Oh my goodness. I hope everybody was on that call because what we have now is so powerful. Oh man, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Travel leaders is what we are a part of now, and it's amazing. It's a game changer. Step 5 was focus. Uh, Next 3 to 5 years, AI creates millionaires. Stay focused on your goals, stay locked in, and then learning. Number 6 was learning continually. That's self-improvement, of course. Seize the moment and resilience. If you get a setback, bounce back. And you'll be stronger after every setback. Those were the 7 steps. Back to you, Rick.
Powerful. Anybody else? Live from the end. You're already there. Now we can do that. That's something we can do. People say, "Oh man, I don't know how to make calls. I don't like talking to people. I don't like da 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 da. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't want to do this. I'm not feeling to." It's okay. But the thing that you can do is visualize and feel the end state of how it will feel, how it is feeling. To have that money, to have that check, to have the people, to be a team builder, to be a director, to be an ambassador. What do you want? You don't achieve in order to become something. You become the state of what it is, and then the achievement appears as confirmation. So it's not like you are achieving in order to become this, in order to become that. You can actually become that in your mind and your imagination. Imagination creates everything. Imagination is everything. Imagination is a preview of life's attractions. I won't even say coming attractions, but a life's attractions. Imagination is creation in motion. We all have that. There's nobody on this call that doesn't have that. So you don't achieve in order to become something. You become that thing in your imagination, in your mind, and in your feeling. And then the achievement appears as confirmation. That's how things really work. Like
Hey,
Chantel
Rick,
was saying, go right ahead.
I just want to remind everybody that Winners Win recording is in your back office.
That's powerful because I want to
And
learn
it's,
about the leaders.
yes, so the
Leaders
one,
network.
this call here should be up for next week. Well, this week. Yeah, they run 1 week behind, but they're all good. Believe me.
Yes. And the week before, he did a real serious, the team builder mentorship. He talked about the going within. He said this piece right here that I'm going to talk to you about, you have to work on developing yourself daily. He said, that's why I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I work on me for 4 hours before I get in front of anybody. But he took an hour and went into that thing. It was really powerful. And I was like, wow. And if you think about, we're sitting here with all these robots and AI, all this stuff running around, stuff we never imagined. We're sitting in it. It is not for you to be afraid of it. It's for you to come along beside and say, what is my purpose in this? What am I building here right now? What do I want to see in it right now? Let it come alive in you and put the limitations to rest. Put that stuff away. How are you looking at your best self? What does she look like? What does she feel like? What is he? What are you driving? I mean, I'm just go inside yourself and see it done. Okay, you don't have, if you listen to that one he talked about today, I'm telling you, turn within and go directly to the end and feel that feeling. You back to you, Rick.
That's good stuff. You can't like people can tell you how to do things, but it's not tailored for you. What's tailored for you is getting the living in the end that you see, that you feel, and then getting the inspired actions to get you there. That's tailored for you. That's tailored to the individual. And that's how things really work. If you'll notice in anything in life, the things that surprise you, right, you didn't even know you was going to do. You didn't even know how you were going to do it. And all of a sudden, boom, wow, that surprised me. The things that you try to do and you plan to do in the natural, in the flesh, as we would say, it's like so hard. But when it flows, like you heard Chantel mention, the whole cruise, the whole situation with Glenn and Chantel, Glenn goes on a cruise with his family and they invite him. So he spends like next to nothing, an Alaskan cruise. And not knowing that that would be a door to a bonus in the and an induction into the power line for the first power line ever in our company in the month of August, not knowing that that would be the thing that gets them there. There's no way they could even plan that. Glenn could have said, "No, I don't want to go on a cruise, man. Chantel's not going. I don't want to go." Right. Or for whatever reason. No, it's the timing is not right. I got to do this. I got to do that. And he could have said no, not knowing how that connected to his future. But I know Glenn, and I know that that was a spiritual call, a spiritual yes to go, not knowing, but serving. Everything that you do as you serve in the spirit, there's something connected to it. Don't turn it down. And so I know him going, say, okay, I'll serve. And it was a working cruise because he was actually serving, but he actually learned a whole bunch of stuff, about how the ship responds to people that have different abilities. We talk about neurodiversity travel and being able to meet the needs of people that have different, special abilities. He saw how the ship met those needs or didn't meet those needs. You know, there's so much to learn on that journey of service that will actually blow your mind. But getting back, little did they know that him volunteering to help his family on this cruise and to go on this pretty much free cruise, pretty much, that would be the thing that triggered a bonus, right? To put them in the power line, the first ever power line. I look at that and I just go, oh, that just blows my mind. But that
Well
confirms
put.
everything that we're talking about.
That's well put, Rick. Well put.
It confirms everything that we're talking about. So it's not just, as Brenda mentioned, with the guy getting the promotion and seeing the promotion. It's not just the visual image of something, and let's say the power line, but it's the feeling, the having, the being, the satisfaction, you know, it's the feeling of course, rather than I hope so, but of course, anticipate is, do you have the feeling of anticipation or do you have the feeling of satisfaction? Satisfaction is a thank you, a gratitude. It's done. Feel from the end rather than the to it, right? And then watch how everything falls in place and search for the inspired actions. What is my role in this? What is my role? And search for those inspired action. Because honestly, anything outside the inspired action is just unnecessary work and energy. And of course, practice returning to it. It's not something that happens immediate, but it's something you write it down in your composition notebook and practice returning to that feeling, returning to that image, returning to it time and time and time again. Anything else on this subject? Anybody?
Rick, we have to go back. The founders of this company and the previous company, their vision. See, this power line is not new. It's not a new concept. Coach was about to launch this. We didn't have a name for it yet. I don't know what happened at the time, but the timing was not yet for the power line. But he told us of the concept that they were working towards.
At
And
the
we don't.
Breakthrough Convention.
Okay, so we never knew. It never happened.
That's true. That's true.
So
Sure did.
it's happening now. But check this out. The other vision, that's why it's important to write that vision down, yours. The other vision, the other two aspects of the vision of Coach Tomer and the founders to create 10,000 financially free families.
Yes.
So we got the power line. This is up next. The financially free families and to save the middle class.
That's it.
Look at what's happening in this nation right now. Elimination of the middle class. In any nation that does not have a middle class is called a third world country.
Wow.
Back to you, Rick.
Man, that's some powerful stuff. We have a place in history. Everybody on this call, you have a place in the vision that a visionary leader has put in place, and you have a place in that. You have a role in that. You have a position in that, a responsibility in that. And it's according to your faith. If you can believe that, then you can manifest it. If you can believe that you have, based on everything you look around and you see people hurting, you see people prospering, you see people traveling, you have access. Just, this call is about a reawakening to the fact that you have access to everything that's happening in the present. And that access is in your imagination that becomes a manifestation. You can't get in there any other way, but you're accessing a vision that Coach Tomer had. And as Glenn said, 10,000 financially free families. Rescue the middle class. What? When you begin to walk in your authority of understanding that, the floodgates open. The how is done, right, for you. And you're maintaining that place of belief and faith and feeling. Back to you, Brenda. Hey, Roz, can you say something? Maybe Roz wants to say something. Roz, can you talk? Can you unmute? This is your first time on our call. This is what we do. You may not be in a place to speak, but it's good to have
Well,
you, Roz.
yeah, great that you've joined us. You know, what's exciting about what everything you guys have shared is that it is obtainable to all of us. There's no special treatment or anything like that. We're all in one accord. We can all receive that. And that's what's so exciting about this business that we're in. And it's about just sharing because there's so many people who really want what we have. We just have to communicate to them in a way that they can receive it if it's meant to be. So just share it. Just find out, what are you looking for? What do you want? And you'll be surprised how many people are thinking, oh yeah, I think I want this. And when you run into a naysayer, let them go because they don't understand. And be able to say, oh, you don't understand, because if you understood, you would be joining us yesterday. You would be joining us without delay, without hesitation. And
Yeah.
so just look for the folks who can understand, who can see, who has a vision. You'll run into people who everything, it's almost like you'll run into someone who every time they turn on the computer, something wrong happens. But it just don't take so much time because that's the energy that they're putting out. Darlene, did you want to share? Oh no, I just saw your name. I thought you had unmuted. So yeah, so you want to make sure that you just talk to all the positive people when you go out. Just make sure you're only attracting people like yourself, people who want to do this, people who want to achieve, people who want to make it happen. So I'm looking at the time.
Brenda,
Yes, go right ahead, honey.
let me share this right quick. One thing I'm really noticing, and in the serving, when we're out here serving, things are happening. And two of the last times we were serving, some really important things happened. We went out to do a hotel site inspection. And see, you're going for a reason, but he has you in the place in his purposes. And as we sat down with the sales director, and we had seen everything, went through all the rooms, she's shown us everything about the place. And we sat, it was Glenn and I, we sat down at the table with her. And at the end of this, she says to us, my mom is going through this right here. And you can see her eyes get really intense. And this is what's happening, and this is what's coming. And I'm not going to get into any of that. And I knew right then, gave her a hug. I said, we got you. And today I was over and ran into her again, and she just came running up and got this greatest hug. And she said, this is what's happened. We're going here. And she's going to see this great, she had wanted to go to Nashville to go take that walk down a Dolly Parton, all that, see all of that action. She is absolutely booked into that, sharing the experience that she is going to have. But it was sitting in that room, hearing her desires of some things that she wanted to experience with her mom. And then the other day, we went over to serve another person, and she was sharing her heart with us, and very personal things. And I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? But it was in the serving. I get a phone call from the lady that was there with us to serve this particular lady. And she says, you guys have a business. I've been watching you. And she says, my daughter's interested in that. And she says, I'm going to send you her phone number. I was on the phone with her daughter yesterday. The daughter says, I love it. I'm coming on board on Tuesday. But it wasn't even about that. It was because we were out here serving people. And I'm noticing with Willie and Adrian is running all over the world right now. The butterfly effect is real. And they're doing a lot. I'm talking about a lot of serving, pouring out on people. And I don't know if they could imagine that they would be sitting in this room right here, right now, with this lineage, because it's coming from Willie and Adrian and spreading out all over this place, all over this country, all over everything. And I am excited about our lineage here. Willie and Adrian and whoever else, we all have birthdays together. Willie Tillman, myself, I'm Monday. There's some the cousin that was on the cruise is today. So something really special is happening here, and it is bigger than, oh, I just got this travel company. No, it's about the relationships, the lives that we get to serve. The Rita Williams, we got the Marketplace Cleveland. I mean, there is so much happening here. Your part is important. That's what I'm getting to. Run your race, but serve some lives and have some fun in your life, because that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much, Rick and Brenda Reese. We can't leave you out of this. No way, no how. We've been running all over the world with Rick and Brenda Reese, loving it and enjoying them and getting all these nuggets. Dr. Coakley and Chris and Renee Coakley, Delby and Liz Santiago. Look at this. This is a beautiful thing we're doing here, and it matters. Go out here and show some smiles today. We are so thankful to be here with you today, and I hope you seriously understand that your part is so important and it matters big time. Welcome, Rosalind.
Well, you know, we got off of that cruise that Rick's talking about that I served on, gave us a second team in New York.
Wow.
In New York.
Mm.
And another foothold in the Richmond area of Virginia. And don't forget that those bonuses, somebody's overriding those bonuses as well. It's all incentives. It's all incentives. There's a lot of money out there. Go get your portion. You deserve it. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
You got it,
Wow.
Brenda.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Man, I just love it all. I just love it all. And I look forward to everyone sharing how they met people, how folks came in their lives. They didn't even know who this was. They signed up. We hit a bonus and we're on this pool and on that pool and we're shooting for another one. And it is definitely possible for us all to do that. And you know what I love to say all the time, that we are the most trusted team in Surge 365. We are winners. Rick didn't mention it, but yes, you know he will be doing that presentation this evening, Thursday evening. You definitely want to jump on, invite folks, even if they've been in the business for years, invite them again. There's nothing about new people and seeing the excitement that's going on. It hasn't stopped. They might have stopped, but the excitement hasn't stopped. We're here making it happen. So we look forward to seeing you guys on that call. Everybody have a great rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world, on the cruise ships of the world, and definitely in the mountains. Okay, everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless.